Now on Sunrise and streaming on CrossroadsToday.com, funeral arrangements begin for 16-year-old Lisbeth Medina. We'll tell you where her family plans to lay her to rest. And two of the world's top leaders met in the Oval Office yesterday for talks on more aid to a war-torn country. 25 News now has the latest on the president's meeting with Ukrainian President Zelensky. And continuing coverage in Washington, on Capitol Hill, a House committee passes a resolution to launch a formal investigation into President Biden. We'll tell you what's next.
And we're going to have some pretty nice weather for the rest of this week with some rain alongside before another cool front comes on Friday. We'll take a look at that in the weather coming up.
Two area teams went at it on the soccer pitch. I'll have that coming up in sports.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Carolina Astrain.
And I'm Parker Cox.
And today's the 13th day of December 2023. The time is now 6:30 on our Wednesday morning, and it is the National Guard's birthday.
Ooh, happy birthday, National Guard. We really appreciate all of your good work.
Yeah, it's really important because we live on a border state.
Yes, we do. We are right next to you, only a few hours away from the border, Carolina.
That's right. So National Guard is very important.
Yes, very important. Thank y'all.
All right, Parker, well, what do we need to be on guard for this morning?
Well, in terms of guard, I might bring an umbrella with you today because we might think we're going to see some showers throughout the day today if you're waking up this morning. Or if you're just tuning in, look at a live look at Eastern Victoria where even on the camera you could see, look at all those raindrops. Raindrops over here and behind me as well. But with that rain out there, it's kind of keeping us a little cool this morning, starting at about 57 right now, but with a dew point of just 2 degrees off 55 degrees, got a humidity of 93%, and actually that humidity is what's driving all the rain out there with this sort of like an easterly wind kind of rising right above that cool air mass. But let's take a look at that live radar right now. We've got a couple showers coming into Edna, Hallettsville as well, Wharton, even a couple here in the Crossroads. I think it actually just exited in the Crossroads. That's why there's still a couple raindrops on the camera. But Port Lavaca as well, Palacios, Port O'Connor, y'all all going to see some good shots at showers today. As we take a look at your feature tracker here, we're thinking those showers are probably going to become a little more widespread going into around noontime and the early afternoon hours, but going into the later afternoon hours as we take a look here. Here's 3 p.m. Start going into the afternoon, or later afternoon rather, become a little less widespread, a little kind of clearing up just a little bit out there. So we're thinking those showers won't last all day, but really around the noontime and morning hours. But with that rain in the area today, it's actually going to keep us a little cool today, only reaching the mid-60s today with that rain-cooled air in the area. But if we take a look at what's going on here for the rest of this week here, we've got a high-pressure system out there in the eastern Great Plains right now, kind of over there by Arkansas and Mississippi. But that's going to push off a little bit north and making way for another low that's going to develop right over the mountains of Mexico. And that's going to slowly push eastbound into central Texas, bringing us a good shot at some more showers and thunderstorms on Friday ahead of that cool front coming our way. Bring us right back to some cool temperatures. We'll take a look at that more in just a few moments. Back to you, Carolina.
Thank you, Parker. Authorities say no one made it out of a crash Sunday on the Navidad River Bridge in Lavaca County. DPS says 25-year-old Marieli Sanchez of Victoria struck 62-year-old David Carroll of Hallettsville head-on when she crossed the center line of the highway. Carroll's Ford Explorer reportedly spun twice before bursting into flames. 62-year-old Carla Jones of Hallettsville was a passenger in the vehicle with Carroll. Authorities say all 3 people died on the scene. Funeral arrangements begin for a 16-year-old Edna cheerleader found slain in her home last Tuesday. The family plans to hold her funeral services in Nebraska, where the teen lived until last year. Lisbeth Medina's mother found her tragically murdered in the bathtub of their home. After nearly a week of investigating, Edna PD and Texas Rangers placed 23-year-old Rafael Romero at the scene of her murder. Authorities captured him in Schulenburg over the weekend. He now faces a charge of capital murder, which could mean the death penalty if convicted. A preliminary autopsy ruled Medina's death as a stabbing. We're still awaiting final autopsy results. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky met with President Joe Biden at the White House Tuesday. Zelensky is in Washington to lobby for more aid in the war with Russia. In their Oval Office meeting, President Biden announced $200 million in additional aid from the Defense Department, but he stressed Congress will need to act to get Ukraine the support they need to defeat Russia. Republicans have pushed back against Biden's proposed aid package, which includes funding for Israel and U.S. border operations. Holding out for Democrats to pair the aid with tougher border policies. We'll go to Washington for the latest later on Sunrise. The House Rules Committee voted Tuesday to formalize an impeachment inquiry, passing a resolution to launch a formal investigation into President Joe Biden. The 9-4 vote along party lines happened late yesterday afternoon after hours of debate and 9 failed Democratic amendments. The resolution will now head to the floor for a vote today. If it passes, which would require support of nearly all 221 Republican representatives, a formal inquiry would begin. Dwayne Crocker is vying for mayor of Victoria. He's actually one of 6 candidates running for the position. Crocker currently serves as Victoria's District 3 City Councilman. He's held that position since August of 2021. Crocker's also an attorney and a Victoria native. He raised his family right here in Victoria and majored in political science in college.
I think there's just some insight that I've gleaned from being a part of that I think I'm in a position to help the city move forward and provide leadership.
The City of Victoria will hold a mayoral election on February 3rd of next year. And here's a look at some of the other candidates running for mayor of Victoria: Carissa Winters, Josephine Solis, Peter Brown, Robert Constantine, and Jacob Sauceda. You can learn more about these candidates at crossroadstoday.com. Technology to keep impaired drivers from getting behind the wheel could soon become the standard. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration laid the groundwork for the new standard Tuesday, which directs NHTSA to require new passenger vehicles to have advanced drunk and impaired driving prevention technology, provided it's reasonable, practicable, and will reduce traffic crashes and deaths. NHTSA says every day about 37 people in the United States die in drunk driving crashes, with just over 13,000 deaths in 2021, the most recent data year available. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. The time is now 6:37 on our Wednesday morning. Here's a look at what's coming up on 25 News Now Sunrise. The Crossroads area economy is booming. Find out why.
New Russian airstrikes in Kyiv overnight as President Biden urges Republicans to pass new Ukraine aid or risk a Russian victory. I'm ABC's Justin Finch with the story from Washington.
And coming up after the break, we'll take a look at your school bus forecast. We'll take a look at the outage report as well. And come up later on Sunrise, we'll take another look at the showers in the area for today.
Hi, I'm Detective Kelly Gibbs with the Victoria Police Department. Victoria Crime Stoppers is seeking information about the murder of Rocky Ray Salinas. On February 23, 1996, 27-year-old Rocky Ray Salinas was reported missing. Approximately 3 weeks later, on March 18th, Salinas' body was discovered in a field at the 1000 block of Southwest Bend Jordan. If you have any information about the murder of Rocky Ray Salinas, please call Victoria Crime Stoppers at 361-572-4200. You can also submit a tip by using the P3 Tip app on your Android or Apple device, or by visiting our website at www.crimestoppersvictoria.com. All tips are anonymous, and if you give information that leads to an arrest or charges being filed, you could earn a cash reward. With the Victoria Police Department, I'm Detective Kelly Gibbs.
Well, good morning, Crossroads. If you're all waking up this morning, if you're just tuning in, look at a live look at Cuero. Look at that sun starting to come up, making a nice, pretty kind of purple sky with this cloud cover out there. But a little cool out there this morning in the Cuero area. About 57 is that temperature out there right now. But I put Gonzales because that's the closest town to Cuero that is at Victoria. But with a dew point of 49, though, just a few degrees off. Got a humidity of 73 degrees, or 73% out there, rather. Maybe a little bit humid, but not too crazy. But that's pretty normal down here near the coast because you're right next to that body of water. But if you're sending your kiddos off to school this morning, it's going to be about 55s. They're heading out the door. Might want to pack them an umbrella because they're expecting to see some showers throughout the rest of the day, ending by around the evening time. But as they're heading back home in the afternoon, about 3 or 4 p.m., 67 is that afternoon high. So maybe pack them a light jacket and an umbrella because they'll probably be taking that jacket off in the afternoon and taking that umbrella away as well. But with that rain in the area and actually a little windy as well, it's bringing a little bit of pollen. Got tree, grass, and ragweed pollen are all low today. But I've been sniffly this morning, so it might be a good idea to take an allergy pill today. But for the rest of us here in the Crossroads, going to stick around 70 for the rest of this week until we get another cool front on Friday, bring us a good amount of rain on Friday, but then bring us right back into the 60s this weekend. And we'll take a look at that and more in just a few moments. Back to you, Carolina.
Thank you, Parker. Two area teams faced off in a soccer match last night. Sports reporter Zach Brown has more on the game between the Calhoun Sand Crabs and the Victoria West Warriors.
Well, we had a little bit of basketball in the area last night, but how about some soccer? We got the West boys who say hello and are looking forward to a great year. The Calhoun Sand Crab bench excited, looking to finish the job this year after making it to the semifinals. Also brought some fired up fans to the game with them who braved the cold weather. It paid off. Calhoun gets the 1-0 win over the West Warriors, and I had a chance to speak with both of the head coaches afterwards. They both commended the other team.
It was a pretty difficult game, pretty even. We had some opportunities that we were not able to score, but we had to fight and put up a good fight because Victoria West is a great team.
Whenever you face talent, you step up to it. You can either fold or you step up. And I think a 1-0 match kind of just shows, the level that we're at. We did, miss a couple opportunities. We were unlucky at times, and they were able to capitalize. But overall, it was a very exciting game.
A great game from two area teams. And out of Cuero, congrats to softball star Abigail Aguilar, on her commitment to Coastal Bend College. With your 25 Sports Now, I'm Zach Brown.
And now we want to invite y'all to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, and Android TV. Just search Crossroads Today Plus. Now to the nation's capital, where time is running out for Congress to approve new defense funding for Ukraine. Ukraine's President Zelensky joined President Biden in pressing Capitol Hill lawmakers to fast-track the multi-billion-dollar package before the holidays. But Republicans are refusing to lend support without a deal, including tighter restrictions on immigration and the southern border.
Overnight, Ukraine's capital city coming under fire. Kyiv's mayor reporting its air defenses were activated, but saying the Russian airstrike left several dozen civilians injured, including children. Russia's latest missile strike coming as Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky was in Washington pleading in person for Congress to approve another $61 billion in aid by year's end. Without it, Zelensky and President Biden warning Russia could win.
In Ukraine, we are fighting for our country and freedom, and also in Europe, we say for our freedom and yours.
A source familiar says a declassified U.S. intelligence report finds the Kremlin's military personnel struggling, counting roughly 315,000 dead or injured Russian troops since the conflict began. Russian officials denying the high numbers. President Biden cautioning Russia's President Putin could still snatch a victory and putting Republicans in the hot seat.
The host of a Kremlin-run show literally said, and I quote, "Well done, Republicans. That's good for us," end of quote.
Still, Republicans are withholding support for new Ukraine funding until the president agrees to more stringent immigration policy.
Our first condition on any national security supplemental spending package is about our own national security first. The border is an absolute catastrophe.
The president saying he's open to compromise and blasting Republicans.
Holding Ukraine funding hostage in an attempt to force through an extreme Republican partisan agenda on the border is not how it works.
How and when President Biden and Republicans can strike a deal remains unclear, but Biden wants one done before the holidays. Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell says that's practically impossible. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
President Biden also signed off on a $200 million package in additional military assistance for Ukraine. That aid is from the Defense Department inventories and the previously authorized Presidential Drawdown Authority. And that leads us to your viewer poll. You can scan the QR code right there on your screen to take part. We ask you, do you support sending additional aid to Ukraine? Okay, let's take a look. 45% of you say yes, you do support sending additional aid, and 55% of you say you do not support sending more aid. We want to keep hearing from y'all. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part in our viewer poll. 2023 will go down as one of the biggest years in the Victoria Economic Development Corporation's history. And so far, 2024 looks just as promising. Jonas Titus, president of the Victoria Economic Development Corporation, says the Crossroads area economy is booming, mainly due to the growth at the Port of Victoria.
We've had 2 projects announced at the Port of Victoria, 2 projects announced in Calhoun County, and those are total $7 billion of capital investment and over 500 new primary jobs.
Titus says that an additional $13 billion of capital investments are likely to be announced in 2024 or 2025. In addition, the planned Matagorda Bay Ship Channel Widening Project will also bring business to the port over the next several years. The time is now 6:47 on our Wednesday morning. Still to come, an ingredient that's in street drugs could enhance therapy treatment of PTSD.
Well, good morning, Crossroads. We still got a couple showers out there starting out your day this morning, but let's take a look at the live radar right now. We've got a couple showers out here near Port Lavaca. Got Edna, Hallettsville, Wharton, and really most of us here on the eastern half of our area is experiencing that rain. As we zoom in here, if you know where your house is on the map here, you can tell if you're going to get any rain or not this morning. But if it's anywhere in Port Lavaca, Edna, Hallettsville, like I said, Wharton, anywhere in between, y'all are going to get some good showers here probably the next 5 or 10 minutes, or if not already. But as we take a look at the rain for the rest of the day, we're going to take a look at your future track here. We're really expecting those showers to become a little bit more widespread going into the noon and early afternoon hours, but going into the late afternoon hours here, as you can see here by 3 p.m., starting to clear out just a little bit going into the evening tonight, where we might see maybe an isolated shower or 2 overnight tonight. But with that rain in the air tonight, it's actually going to keep us a little cool today with that rain-cooled air, only keeping us at about mid-60s today as that afternoon high today. But coming up a little bit, we're going to take a look at that cool front coming our way on Friday evening, bring us even more shots at rain. That's coming up in just a few moments. Back to you, Carolina.
Thank you, Parker. The Food and Drug Administration may review an ingredient that's in street drugs and one that could enhance the therapy treatment of PTSD. MDMA, or methamphetamine, is the active ingredient in street drugs like ecstasy and Molly. It's a psychedelic drug in a class of psychoactive drugs that produce experiences of emotional communion, relatedness, and emotional openness. The new application with the FDA was filed Tuesday by a company called the MAPS Public Benefit Corporation. It's been studying the drug in combination with therapy to treat PTSD, finding it significantly reduced symptoms and impairment associated with PTSD compared with a placebo. The FDA has 60 days to determine whether the new drug application will be accepted for review and if it will be fast-tracked through the approval process. 3 popular retailers are pulling a product marketed to children. Amazon, Target, and Walmart have voluntarily stopped selling water beads after lawmakers and public health leaders called for a ban on the toys. Water beads are tiny balls made out of extremely absorbent polymer material. They're said to help children with fine motor skills and counting. But the Consumer Product Safety Commission says when exposed to liquid, they can expand 100 times their initial size and weight. For that reason, experts say the beads are a big health risk for children if ingested. Earlier this year, the CPSC issued a safety alert about the beads, saying they can cause a variety of serious symptoms and life-threatening injuries, which could require surgery to remove. Still to come on Sunrise, news to know before you go. We celebrate the life of an actor best known for his role as police officers on 2 very different shows. Beloved actor Andre Braugher died at 61. A representative says Braugher passed away after a brief illness, but details about the illness were not mentioned. Braugher was best known for his role as police officers on 2 very different shows, earning an Emmy for his time as police detective Frank Pimpleton on the 1990s series Homicide: Life on the Street, then reintroduced himself to a whole new generation in 2013 as a deadpan police captain in the comedy Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He was nominated for Emmy Awards 11 times and won twice in his decades-long career. That stretched from Glory in 1989 to Men of a Certain Age in 2009 and 11 to the career twist comedy of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Authorities in upstate New York are investigating after an officer hit and killed a man riding an electric bike. The incident happened Monday morning in Syracuse. Investigators say the officer was on patrol when his cruiser struck and killed a 25-year-old man. Police have not yet identified the officer involved in the incident. Investigators are still collecting evidence and trying to find any video that might show what happened. The State Attorney General's office is investigating, and it is unclear if any charges will be filed. Police in Michigan are now seeking charges in the October killing of Detroit Synagogue President Samantha Wohl. Prosecutors did not reveal who they plan to charge, but it comes 2 days after a person of interest was taken into custody. On October 21st, Wohl was found outside her home dead with multiple stabbing injuries. Investigators believe her death was motivated from a domestic dispute and not by anti-Semitism. Wohl was well known in the Jewish community and is being remembered for her kindness, generosity, and dedication to helping others. A house exploded in Pennsylvania Tuesday night. At least one person was hurt in the explosion that left the house in literal pieces. Crews responded to the scene and gas technicians turned off services as an added precaution. The cause is still unknown. A hiker who was missing for days was rescued in Hawaii last Thursday. 34-year-old Ian Snyder fell about 1,000 feet from the Koolau Summit Trail last Monday while hiking in the area alone. He had been missing for days. Before his family sought out help from the hiking community, they were able to pinpoint his location based on video that he posted on social media during his hike. 38 days after falling, Snyder was found and airlifted to safety. Authorities say he fell near a waterfall and was positioned at a small stream that likely helped keep him alive. He was dehydrated, bruised, and had several broken bones. With the Mavericks, Miriam Adelson is poised to beat Texas, a Texas political powerhouse. Will it help her legalize casinos? Read the story by the Texas Tribune on our website, crossroadstoday.com. And we want to invite y'all to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, and Android TV. Just search Crossroads Today Plus. And we do have time for a final check of our forecast with Parker. Parker, how's it looking?
Well, it's looking a little rainy out there in some parts of the area right now, but we're waking up this morning, it looked a little nice out there right now. Cool a little bit. Actually, 57 is that more temperature here in the Crossroads, but dew point 55, bringing that humidity to 93%, which is actually what's driving all that rain out there. As you take a look at your live radar right now, we've got a couple showers out there coming into Port Lavaca, actually kind of exiting Port Lavaca, entering Edna, Hallettsville, Wharton, Bay City as well. Y'all might see some showers this morning, but we expect those showers to kind of last throughout the rest of the day, becoming more widespread in the early afternoon and dissipating by the evening. But what happens is we're going to have a low. It's going to develop coming our way by Friday, bring us another cool front and lots of rain. But if you take a look at the 7-day here, we're sticking around 70 degrees for the next few days until that cool front comes Friday evening, bring us right back into the 60s this weekend.
All right, Parker, looking forward to that weather. Thank you so much.
Of course, Carolina.
And thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful start to your Wednesday. Remember, follow us on YouTube, Crossroads Today, and join Karina, Dawn, Mac, and Zach today for 25 News Now at 5, 6, and 10.